Hello, my name is Elena Sanchez. I am a junior in Mr. Wertz's 5th block period for Drawing and Painting 2. Here I wanted to present my painting. I have to be a little bit out of frame because of the camera. So what my topic is human behavior, and more specifically is how we prioritize things as humans, or more as Americans. And I did a cardboard painting I did a cardboard, and then I painted acrylic over it, and if you see here, I used like water too. So the goal of my painting was to show different levels of things that Americans think is the most important, or not what they think is most important, what appeals to them the most, and things that they prioritize and want to help out because it relates to them. So I'm going to show. So these I did like columns. They represent different platforms. Sorry, I was waving to my teacher. So the first one is orange. A lot of people say it looks like a trash can, but it's not. So if you see that in the hall, it's not a trash can. It is it's orange and gray, which represents the colors of the ASPCA Association. And if you look on my blog, I put a lot of sources on the research that I've done on there. And what I've concluded is more people in America donate to organizations like the ASPCA or helping any kind of animals, but they don't donate to, for example, like women in Yemen who are very oppressed. They have almost no rights, or even to help build borders in Nepal. So that's why I put this dog on a pedestal, because people look at this dog and they want to help immediately, but they don't always think of these other sources to help out first. Then I'm going to go to my second one, which is pretty basic. It's a red pillar. It's representing YouTube. I just didn't put like logos on them. I decided to represent by color. And a lot of people recognize, you can't really see in the video, but it's a demonetization symbol. And basically what that means is when a content creator on that platform makes a video and they put anything with like harassment or any adult topics, or if it's offensive in any way or not child-like friendly or family friendly, then the YouTube algorithm puts this symbol on their video, which basically means they're not going to get ads on there, and that's most of their revenue. So a lot of content creators can't swear or make certain jokes or even mention certain people's names without being demonetized, and every single day I see that happening. And a lot of YouTubers talk about that. I can name like 2 off the top of my head, like Onision or PewDiePie, where they literally have like the life sucked out of them because they can't make any jokes without it being, without their video being demonetized. So they always infer that in every single video. They're like, oh, sorry, I can't say that because I don't want to lose my ads. Like, it's kind of like a joke, but it's always happening. And something that recently happened was the unfortunate event where the YouTube shooter, a lot of people know her as that, but basically what happened is what her family says is her reason behind her rage and her rampage in the YouTube headquarters was because her videos were becoming demonetized. So that means that she wasn't making any money, and she thought that her life was over because of that her career was over. The next one, this one I'm just going to put, I put like a big column in the center because a lot of people use Facebook. This one represents Facebook because of the light blue and the white. And usually a lot of people they're a little more biased towards fueling like fire of people who take advantage of that platform, people who are definitely more fortunate than the people who are on the lower side of my painting. So a lot of people care so much and they put so much energy into these people who are just feeding on the attention. So maybe they'll be like, oh, let's see what this person's drama is. Or if it's Kim Kardashian, they'll be like, oh, is she having a baby? Oh, is she breaking up? Oh, is this happening? So that's where this comes from. That's something that Americans care about a lot, and other cultures care about a lot, is celebrities. And they care about all the celebrities and what they're doing on their media. Now I'm going to go to this one. This one, I basically just, this is Instagram. I always see on Instagram is always the feminists where they're a little extreme. I think a lot of people are joining like a bandwagon where all of them want to start fueling a fire, or they just think it's funny, or they just want to be there. They want to see what's happening. They want to see what's the next craziest thing that is happening. So I put over here, I chose like these colors, like green with red hair and, and the body type, because I was like thinking Fiona from Shrek, because she is basically, she's like a very influential character, because she literally kicks butt in that movie, and you wouldn't expect that from a princess. So I put that on there because she's like somebody who's speaking out, and a lot of people, they go to these pages and they're like, oh, this is so important, I need to see what's happening. But that is going to contrast with what I put here in these two corners. So down on the lower side, a lot of people don't know, but in Yemen, women have no rights to marry. They can't marry who they want to marry. They have what they call as a male guardian, which is either their father or their husband, is the person who makes all the decisions in their life. They can't request health care without the permission of their male guardian. So if they have like an injury, they cannot go to the hospital. They can't do anything like that unless they're allowed to by this person. They also can't divorce. They're not allowed to divorce or get custody of their children if there is a divorce or a separation. So I put over here, it's very dramatic. In person, it's like, it gives you like a little bit of like fear, because I put in their traditional clothing, I put like the man standing over the woman with his hands like this, as if like he's gonna hurt her or something, or he's just overbearing on her. And then she's just bowing down to him because she's just there to do what he wants. So that's very sad. It's a thing that not a lot of people talk about, not a lot of people know about, and a lot of people don't think about because they're thinking about these things up on the top. And like, I kind of liked painting this part, not the situation, but I liked painting the designs, because in their culture, the women and men, they typically cover their hair. Definitely the men, they usually wear like a scarf covering over their hair, and in the style in the Yemeni women, they can wear veils. Sometimes they wear veils. It depends on the style, because different parts have either some parts, a lot of women wear the veils, or some parts they wear over their head to wrap their hair up. It's a very hot country there. And for the men, they wear usually a golden belt or just a very decorative looking belt. And then in the middle of their belt, they'll put, they have a rhinoceros horn, I would say like almost like a dagger, like it goes in its sheath and it's curved. But the problem with that is their rite of passage for the men there. So usually that's just a representative of like their status and if they're a man or not, you know? So the problem with that is a lot of people don't like that because it's a rhinoceros horn, it's poaching. The only way you can get a rhinoceros horn is from poaching, which is illegal, and it could cause them to go extinct. It's just not a good thing. In the bottom right corner, well, on my right, this would be representing women getting carried across the border of Nepal and India. So basically, what happens with human trafficking is they'll get very young girls, around 10 years old or even older. They prefer virgin girls because in their culture they think that that will cure you of AIDS if you rape one of those girls. So what they do in Nepal is they'll tell these girls that they're wealthy and they want to marry them, but the only way, or they want to give them a job in another country in India that will help them pay for their whole family to live nice. So the girls, of course, they think like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go marry this person, or I'm gonna go work for this person across the border. So what happens is these girls unknowingly cross the border, and when they do that, they're basically setting themselves up. They're kidnapping themselves. So if you look on my blog, I put a link to the 3 Nepal angels, and that's a website where they actually help these girls, and they have saved these girls. And you can donate to them, and when you donate to them, it basically goes to creating more checkpoints between Nepal and India, so it makes it harder for them to take these girls across the border, because they're gonna have they're gonna be able to be intercepted, and a lot of them are intercepted every single day. I think it said 53 of these girls are smuggled across the border, which is terrifying if you think what if that was you? What if that was your mother, your sister, or someone? And I took inspiration from a painting. She, from an artist, she is not known. On the 3 Nepal's Angels website, she was a survivor of human sex trafficking. And she did paint a lot of paintings that were based on her experiences, where it would be a man would be hurting her, or they would be selling her. So you'll see one where it's her in their hands, and she's just in the hands, and they're giving money to trade her as if she was a toy. So, and what she did was she used a lot of bright colors, like reds and yellows. And I was like, oh, that's a very nice style. I'm going to try to use some of that. But at the same time, I made it my own. And over here, I had put, this represents, you can't really see it, but it's a child coming out of a cobalt mine in Congo. So in Congo, there's a problem right now because Apple, they need cobalt, and cobalt goes into the computers, it goes into your cell phones that you use every single day. So they have a problem with that because they're using child labor, kids as young as 6 years old. 6-year-olds should be in kindergarten. If you think about that should be in kindergarten. But no, they're in these dangerous conditions, and if you look on my blog, I even put a link to an article about this boy, and it shows pictures that the journalist was taking, and it was horrifying because they basically have these men there who are telling them to work like slaves, and they were like, I'm gonna hit you if you don't work faster, and they're expecting so much of these children, and that's child labor. So Apple is trying to combat that, and they're trying to put age restrictions on how young a worker should be. And it's very dangerous conditions, and usually it's not just the children that are working, it's their moms that are there and the rest of their family too. So they're being exposed to all these dangerous chemicals that are just killing them slowly and painfully. And then over here you can't really see, but I made it try to look like static coming from the outside of the cave, because we, as Americans, we don't usually see this when we log onto our phones, our computer every single day, or onto the news. We don't normally see all these hardships that are happening around us. So the TV is just kind of represent a TV that has no signal. You can't see it, it's not being shown to anybody. Or it is being shown and we're just not paying attention, caring enough for it to show up. Because with certain websites, for example YouTube or Instagram, they have algorithms that are completely random. Well, they're not completely random, but they show things out of order, but they show it according to things that you watch as an individual. So if you're watching more of this, more of that is going to show up. But if you're watching more of this, then more of that is going to show up in your feed. So if you don't know about these things and you're not doing your research or looking into it, you'll be completely ignorant to the fact that these people are struggling so hard. I also put up here, it's just a representation of a starving child, which there are so many countries where children just can't even, like, even in our own country, we have starving children too, but we don't think about them. We'll think about the dog first. Oops, sorry. And let me bring it closer. I drew him with a cell phone that has, of course, I did a no signal bar because they can't call for help because nobody is looking to help them. And to conclude it, I put black and gray all distorted, and I made sure to put water so it's trickling down because it depends on what we see, what we prioritize. That's how we're going to find out more about these issues. There's a lot of gray area in media today. We only see things that we want to see. So if you want to help more, you can look at my blog, and I put a lot of links for different places that you can help donate to help these people in need. And I'll put my blog in my artist statement. Thank you.